So you want to be a really horrible traveler? I mean, a completely unpleasant person? Well, I'm just the guy to tell you how to do it. Rick Higgins here, and today I'm going to tell you how to improve your chances to be that first world obnoxious, truly American traveler that you always knew you could be. First of all, be sure and speak English and only English, and keep pronouncing it louder and louder until they understand you. After all, it's not your fault that they don't understand the most important language in the world. Never try new food unless it's from an American chain, and if you really absolutely have to, use ketchup. And be sure and dress American. Clothing with the American flag emblazoned on it is a really nice touch. Oh, and speaking of clothing, feel free to wear as little as you like. Is it your fault that those prudish people over in that country, well, they just don't understand the need to show your American skin? Eat your meals when you want to. At 6 o'clock, everyone in the world should be eating dinner, right? I mean, this 9, 10 o'clock nonsense, you'll show them what the correct time is. Discuss local politics from an American point of view. Establish your position early on and stick to it. After all, we've got over 200 years of self-governance. We have a lot to teach the world. And finally, be sure to ask people what they do for a living. Listen attentively for 10-15 seconds and then launch into a long diatribe about your career. Nothing impresses people in other countries more than knowing how successful you as an American are as compared to them. I just can't do anymore. I'm sorry, I just can't. Okay, look, the sarcasm alarm obviously just went off. Don't do any of those things. Please, dear God, I know you know this, but then again, some of you may not. Okay, if you're like me, you really only have English, and if you're traveling around the world, a lot of times that's okay, but at the same time, if you know you're going to a country, learn a smattering of their dialect, their language as well, and more than just, I would like a beer and where's the bathroom, although those are very important. No, seriously, a lot of places actually have this reputation where if you can't speak their language perfectly, they're gonna look down their noses at you, but it's not true at all. Even if you do butcher their language, the fact that you've made an attempt to remember some words and to actually try it goes a long, long way. And as far as that food thing goes, I don't even know where to begin. Try everything. Try and do not go to an American chain. Dear God, whatever you do not go to another country and then start looking for the American chain food. Just don't. Just find their food, eat it, love it, try it, and never put ketchup on anything. And you might be wondering about that last one, which was asking people what they do for a living. It may sound strange because that isn't a very American thing. Now, up to this point, everything is kind of, standard American tourist, how you can tell people are American. But this is actually a big one that most people don't know about. Nobody over in Europe really cares what you do for a living. They do not base their life off of what they do for work, their career. They're more likely to talk about where they're from, where they have visited, where they have eaten, what they have seen. It's not that you're going to offend anybody by asking, but when you do, they're just going to stare at you like, we don't care. Okay, this obviously has been a great big joke video, and I intended it as such, but at the same time, there's a little bit of unpleasant truth that's sort of riding along underneath of it all, if you know what I mean. And I know, you know all of this stuff. I called it out mostly as humor, but at the same time, there is something that underlies all of it that I think we all have to keep in mind, something I have to keep in mind as well. When you're visiting another country, you need to look, listen, use all of your orifices, all of your senses to take in what they have to offer. You're not there to show them what American life is. You're in their country to learn what their life is like and to somehow absorb it or to take parts of it into your world as well. Something like I say, I have to remind myself quite often because you always take yourself wherever you go. Well, sometimes put yourself in the corner, tell them to shut up, and just watch and learn as the world goes by. And with that, be healthy, be happy, and we will see you soon.